Yeah, no, for sure. So in the retirement field space, we often get the question about top heavy plans and what that means and whether that's a bad thing or a good thing. And growing up with my DB background, I see a lot of it. And as I've moved over to the 401k side, I still see a good chunk of it just kind of in different realms. And it's going to depend on the nature of the company and the nature of the plan. And essentially, what that means is when you've got a top heavy plan, 60% or more of the benefits are going towards the key employees. Usually, the key employees are going to be your owners. It sometimes ropes in some officers or folks above a certain compensation level, but for the most part, you're talking about your owners and officers getting the lion's share of the plan's benefits, or if a company sponsors multiple plans and they're combined, then they've got the lion's share of both of the plan's benefits, as we often see in the DB plan, where the owners are getting a good chunk, and then the staff get a profit sharing contribution to kind of offset that. When you test them together, the owners are still getting the lion's share of the benefits, and for a lot of small employers, that's by design. That's how we do this. These retirement plans are designed to favor the owners, get them their tax benefits, and if the employees happen to get something on the side, great. But that's not really the focus for the establishment for a lot of these small employers. But what that means to the employees inside of the plan is essentially that's the IRS trying to look out for you and ensure that even though you're not getting the bulk of the retirement benefits, it requires the owners or of the company to put in a certain minimum amount of benefit for you, whether it's a percentage of your pay in the defined benefit plan or a percentage of your pay in the profit sharing, 3%, 5%. You're going to see different top-heavy minimum levels required depending on the plan. But really, that's just the IRS going, hey, we recognize that the companies are setting these things up to benefit the owners, but at the expense of doing so, you're going to have to chip in a certain amount for the staff. So that's them trying to incentivize or not trying to incentivize, but trying to make sure that the participants are better prepared for retirement and have a little bit higher levels in those retirement accounts to help them retire with dignity. So it's well-intentioned. It's sometimes, from the eyes of the plan sponsor, can be an additional contribution that they have to make, and sometimes they view it with a negative connotation, like, hey, now I have to put in a certain amount, you're telling me how much I have to give to the staff. But really, from the eyes of the participants, it's just them not levelizing the playing field, but helping to offset some of that extreme disparity that we sometimes see between the level of funding from an owner versus what they put in for their staff.